Greetings, fellow townsfolk. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of a new series covering Town to City. If you would like to skip the game's overview, please use YouTube chapters. Town to City is a game where you build an idyllic 19th century Mediterranean town and help it flourish into a prosperous city. The voxel-based building system allows for an incredible amount of flexibility and versatility, allowing you to design gorgeous cities and cityscapes and cater to the needs of a growing town. This cozy strategy game is similar to games I've played in the past like Foundation or Fabledom, and, as always, it will air on YouTube. Let's jump right in. And before we start, I do have Twitch integration enabled.
Life used to be nice here, but nowadays it's so crowded. Smoggy streets, noisy factories, the smell of sewage on the air. What if you could do it your way? How would you design your perfect place? From bakery to park to cozy home and everything in between. Let's leave to start a new community. Somewhere green, somewhere nice. Others will surely follow when they hear of it. Well, you'll have to roll up your sleeves first, but with a bit of effort and an eye for planning, you'll soon develop this spot of land from countryside to town. And from town to city.
Sorry, the intro video was not audio normalized, and I had to go into audio filtering to try to fix the audio levels. Luckily for YouTube, I'll just adjust the audio levels in post. Alright, so the controls. WASD, pretty straightforward. Move the mouse with right mouse button. Rotate with middle. Zoom in and out with the mouse wheel as well. And right at the start, it wants us to build 3 houses and connect them to the station with a road. I'm going to go a little bit ahead of the basic tutorial because this first scenario mission has you building a town that needs to thrive, and if you just throw together some garbage, it doesn't work. It doesn't scale up well. But with that said, you can move buildings around for free. So if you did just follow the tutorial religiously, you wouldn't be stuck. So maybe in this case, I will. So the road tool. There is 5 types of roads. Initially, you have 4 of them. There's an upgraded road you unlock with research later on, which helps with logistics. And you can brush your roads. So I'm going to design our town with brick roads that are 4 wide and square. I'm just aesthetic choice. That's what I want. And then you can freeform it, as you can see, or alternatively, you can have it draw roughly line tool, straight roads. And I'm going to do line tool because I don't have good... Oh, okay, I tried to do line tool. I don't have a very good ability to draw roughly straight lines, anyway. So here we go. Brick, 4 wide, and there. As you can see, it makes the line for me. So I'm going to build this way. All right, as far as houses go, if you go to your house tool and you click on the townfolk residence, you can have it snap to roads automatically, which is really nice. Or you can sort of rotate it however you want, dragging it freely. In my case, I want it to snap. I like the snap, so I'm going to snap 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to place them too close to one another because there are penalties that play a role later on in the game where if you build on top of one another, people don't like it. Basically, high population density is kind of unpleasant. All right, so we've built 3 houses and connected the houses to the station, which is here. And this is how your new townspeople, your immigrants, come to your town. And we're done with that stage. The first family has arrived. Click on their icon and give them a home. So you click right here, and this is the Besson family. And we give them this home. We click on the house. The family has been given a home. Open the residence information by clicking on it. A warm, beautiful house is the main way to increase the residents' happiness, but it currently does not provide much. Let's change that by giving the residents access to food buildings. Market stalls are now available. Place 2 market stalls. We've got a poultry stall and a cheese stall. When you attach it to a road, you'll see the road turn green. The green is the range of its supply. Roughly the way this works is that every house that is connected to the market stall, and this is true of like anything that provides foods or services, or even recreation, will then increase the demand. But things like the market stalls have a limited ability to supply demand, so in many cases you'll end up in a situation where you need multiples of them. And without multiples of them, you'll have citizens that do not have whatever you were trying to supply as a good. So what I'm doing here is I'm planning on laying out some additional roads ahead of time, because it is wise, in my opinion, to have your food sort of centralized. So as you can see the range here on the roads, if I put my market stalls around here, they will supply the entire road system. Whereas if I supplied it here, none of those houses would get food. So I'm going to put the poultry stall and the cheese stall in these 2 spots. I'm also curious if these guys got named after you. Dimitri, Henrika, Elizabeth. Let me see if this might be just because I'm in the tutorial mode, but I believe I do indeed. Oh, not connected. Hey, I authorized you a minute ago. There it is. Okay, so soon oh, there it is. You guys are chatting and everything. Ah! And here's another family. Added to a home. All right, next. Click the market stall. Here it is. Before a shop is operational, it needs to have workers. All adults living in your town can be employed. Let's add a worker. So over here in the bottom right, we've got the worker screen. Let me actually move the interface a little bit so that it doesn't... Yeah, there you go. That'll be easy to read. And if we add a worker, this worker produces 20, or rather basically supplies 20 poultry to the surrounding area and has a demand of 7. Each worker increases the amount that citizens can be serviced. Make sure that all shops can meet their demands by having enough workers. This shop can't sell because there's no warehouse connection. Let's build a warehouse next. Oh my god, this is going to get so distracting, chat. Jesus. A warehouse receives resources from the station and then transport them to commerce buildings. An efficient warehouse is nearby commerce buildings and close enough to the station. Okay, well, look, I might need to turn off Twitch integration if the spam becomes unbearable. So what it's saying is that your warehouse needs to be close to where it is supplying. I'll put it right here. And I'll also add 1 person to the cheese stall too. There's another family over here, the DuPonts, famous chemists, I think. And now, if you take a look, we add a worker to the warehouse. The transportation costs are covered. So the way this works is that goods come in on the train. The train delivers them to the warehouse, and this requires 91 transport demand. And currently, 1 person supplies 125. And then of that, then delivers goods to the cheese stall and poultry stall at 6 and 11. So as you can imagine, if your warehouse was over here, bringing in goods to the warehouse would be cheaper, but then delivering it to each individual stall would be ultimately more expensive. So there we go. We built a warehouse. We added workers to the warehouse to cover the transportation cost. We made the poultry stall functional, the cheese stall functional, and houses receive both poultry and cheese. So all of these houses, if you click on them, you can see that they have both poultry and cheese supplied. Access to multiple different shops greatly increased the happiness of its residents. So we went from like 54% to 68% already. This house earns you more daily income with each shop connection. Each house, shop, and warehouse has a decoration score. This score makes the people who live or work in the building happier. Let's make a house and shop or warehouse provide more happiness by decorating around them. Alright, let's start with this home. I am going to give it a lamppost. I'm going to give it a slide. I'll put a tree here. Between these two houses, I'm going to put a trellis gate thing, wooden gate. And a bench. And that would be decoration points on a house. So now these houses are nice. Next, have 40 decoration points on a shop or warehouse. Put another lamppost there. A tree behind the warehouse. Some potted flowers. We can even do a small stone wall. And we're done. Hover over the happiness percentage to view the breakdown of happiness. People only arrive at the station if the total average is 60% or above. Percentages in yellow and red should be improved to increase the average happiness efficiently. You can also click individual residents to deep dive into their individual happiness. Let's keep the happiness above 60% and grow the town's population. So taking a look here, work decorations are rather low. Home decorations are still kind of low. Food is pretty good. Population density is pretty good. It wants me to have 5 houses in my town. So let's continue to add houses. I'm going to have a road go up this way and then come flush. I'm going to add another house here. And let's do one. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it not snap to the road and have it like this, and I'll create a path for it. So I'm actually going to do 6. So the path for this house, so that I can have a connection, is going to be like a small driveway. So then let me make it a little bit bigger. There we go. And then, once these houses are constructed, I can put the new people in them. One. And one more family, and we will be good with that. So the train periodically comes, and all the houses that all the families I've put in so far have not had specific requirements. We'll get into that a little bit later. A higher population density decreases the residents' overall happiness. Make parks and open spaces and research, build and connect more buildings to maintain high happiness. Let's build a research center. So a research center does not need to be near your population center. This research center is a place for them to work, but there isn't a concept of like commute. The research center isn't supplied by a warehouse, so you do not need your research center close to your station. I'm going to plop it over here, but I am planning on having more houses over this way eventually, so I'm just creating the infrastructure for that. So build a research station, add a worker to the research station, and research a new building is what we're currently working on. And while we work on that, I am going to add some additional decorations for these houses. Not a whole lot. I don't really like the initial options that we have. But all the same, I will make it a little bit nicer because it's pretty easy to do. Let's see. I am bad at trying to adjust everything. Okay, there we go. So here's the research station. The research station can hire up to 10 people, and we have 7 unemployed. Every additional person you once the research is up, station is up, it costs you money for upkeep. And for now, I'm just going to put all 7 people in there. You're now generating research points. You can add more workers to generate it quicker. You can see the current research points and money down here in the bottom right. And now we can research a new item on the top. Unlock the fish stall. This costs 1 research point, which we just have. You have now unlocked the fish stall. This building now appears in the construction menu. You have 18 out of 50 residents required to upgrade your city. This will unlock new features and buildings in the research menu, maintain a happiness, and give 50 people a home. Your goal is to grow your new town into a bustling city. All right. So let's continue growing. Oh my god. I feel like the game is just getting quieter on me. Maybe I'm just getting louder. I don't know. So the first thing I want to do is to add the fish stall. I'm going to put the fish stall here right next to the warehouse. And it does service all of the houses, which is important. And then we'll lay out our neighborhood. And I'm trying to leave like a decent amount of space around the houses. Also keeping in mind that on the bottom right, we have our budget. I have $1,453 and each house costs 10. I don't necessarily want to run out of money because that would be a bit of a problem. I feel like maybe the game was just quiet because I was paused. I don't even know what's going on. All right, because we had just mass hired people for... Okay, so in this case, you can see that this house here is not getting the connections for any of the food markets. So let's go ahead and create a small, like, walkway path. And done. That small walkway path gave it a more direct connection to these market stalls. So if you... and then this house over here is also not getting it. So likewise, what we could do is we can put in a dirt desire path. And now this also is getting connected. And the we're growing in such a way that it kind of looks organic, and that's very much the point. And let's just keep putting people in. And as we add people to our total population, our work pool goes up. And what you just saw here, those unhappy faces were a result of there being too much demand for the current workers to supply. So if you take a look at the supply, this house over here, as you can see, Red Miss agrees, got dropped from its supply, and that's because we need to add to the workforce. If you can hold left control and click on these portraits, it will automatically add a person to that workplace, expanding the supply. Now this house here is still not connected to the fish stall. There's multiple ways we could fix this. One is that I could change and rotate it like that. And now it should be connected to all of them. Now, it's not massively important that they're all connected perfectly. I would just, at least initially, would like to do that. And all the unemployed people get hired up to the research building. So we take a look at the research menu, and the next thing I want to unlock is the decorate buildings. We just built a whole lot of houses, but I haven't actually made them nice. So with the decorate buildings, what this allows you to do is it allows you to attach stuff directly to the houses. So I can have planter boxes, or I can have hanging flowers, right? I can even put benches up on their balconies. And this is something I like to do as time goes on, as we unlock more decorations, is to make things feel more organic and natural. And it's one of these like cozy games. You don't necessarily need to min-max everything. Not everything needs to be like an economic decision. Things don't need to be perfect. But I would like to make it feel homey. That's sort of my goal this stream. To show you the game mechanics and to make something that that looks nice. I'll even put a little plaza well in here. You're welcome. Here, I'll even give you a bench. You can look out at the people making wishes at the well. And they will use this furniture, by the by. This is a lot of the furniture and stuff like this is functional. Alright, can research new items. A fruit stall, vegetable stall. Let's do fruit. Mean likes fruit. And I'll put the fruit stall here. And I'm clustering around the warehouse so the warehouse doesn't have too much work. Now we are going to need to put another worker in. There we go. So we have 2 working in the fruit stall, 2 in the poultry, 2 in the cheese, 2 in the fish, 2 in the warehouse, and I have 1 extra person that can become a researcher. Alright, I feel like the people over here deserve some trees. Alright, let's build a little fence. And put some potted flowers in there. Feel like this warehouse doesn't really have good decorations either. Scorpio's in there working, and we could do better. There we go. Now it's all prettied up. All right, there's someone waiting for a new home, and I don't. Oh no, I have one. Sweet. Well, thank you for your patience. The mayor will adorn your little home. There you go. Alright, we're only up to 32 population, so let's continue to add homes to accommodate a growing town. And then once people move in, I'll decorate them up. Are there in time decorative buildings that would allow the player to make a boat dock or fishing? Sort of. Alright, so here is a family with a trait. So they want to live in a house with a lot of flower decorations. I happen to have put a lot of flowers on these homes. So as you can see, this home has a 20% bonus to flowers, which is the max. So if I put the family in there, they're going to be extra happy. So if I click on this home, as you can see, there's this flower lover modifier. And the resident's happiness is going to be higher than average as a result. With that said, they themselves don't actually have flowers on their own home, and, well, you know what? I'm going to fix that. And given that this home is red, a deep red, I'm going to give them all red flowers. I'm going to go overboard and give them a lot of red flowers. And then I'll give them, 2 little benches to sit in. That's the red flower home. There you go. Alright, who else? There's no one new? And, yep, there's no one new at the moment. Now, checking market connections. These 2 homes are not getting the fruit stall. So what we could try to do is to move the fruit stall to find some sort of like center point which will allow them all to be interconnected. There is research that you get later on. This one, greater reach, which allows your stalls to have greater reach. And that should probably be bought soon so that everyone that wants food can get food. So there is a home that can't get vegetables. All are getting fruit. All are getting fish. And cheese. And poultry, I think. I'm trying to click on the stalls. There, no, I want the stall. There we go. The other thing is I don't have a lot of decorations for the people for their work. So I want to decorate around their workplaces because that is honestly just as important as their homes. So let's give the fruit vendor some light. Put a well in there. A bench that stares off to nowhere. Much better. Even hang flowers off your stalls. You will have a beautiful experience here. Are there seasons? No, but there is the day-night cycle. So this home wants to be near restaurants, and this happens to be very close to restaurants. So that's perfect. We'll put them in there. Let's decorate this one up now. And we're getting pretty close to our goal. And if you take a look at the happiness in the top left of the screen, as you can see, the average happiness is going up, up, up. Right? I'm giving them a wide variety of food. I'm decorating their homes. I'm decorating their work. And people are quite pleased by this. And I must say, this town looks quaint AF. Alright, taking a look. Flower and plant decorations, or tree and bushes. I'm going to wait for greater reach. Because as our population is growing, reach is going to be important. Because without greater reach, we won't be able to service everyone's food needs. So at the moment, most people are getting all stalls. This home is missing one stall. But that's not... I can actually work to fix that a little bit. I'll do the dirt desire path as a diagonal like this. And then repaint over and erase some of the other sections so that, that it looks more correct. Brick for... Yep, that fixed it. Just add a little diagonal. That's all it took. And our population is up to 46. I have one empty home. Maybe it will be a family of 4, but if not, I'm going to need another home to hit the 50 goal. So I'll put another home in here. You want to be near a cliff. Well, this house here might be close to the cliff. Let's see. 4% gain. So, if I wanted a cliff house, I'm going to pause for a moment. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sell these trees. I'm going to click on this home and move this one into this house so that this home is now vacant. I'm going to move this home back against the cliff like this. Go to the dirt desire path. Have a little path out to the road where this then gets connected to 3 out of 4 stalls and is adjacent to the cliff. So that if I move them in, they have a 20% bonus for living next to the cliff. You can now upgrade the town to the next stage. Click the green button to upgrade. Before I do that, I want to increase greater range. And then take a look at the food stalls. So as you can see, the stalls are going all the way out here now. The range has dramatically improved. However, right now, I'm producing about 60 poultry and demands 50. So even though the range increased, I'm not going to be able to add too many more houses to the current network without the network getting overloaded. So let's go ahead and upgrade our town, or our dwelling, to a hamlet, I believe. City upgraded to stage 2. New apparel unlocked and research menu expanded. Mayor. Oh god, Turtle, you're talking to me. This is so weird. Could I talk to you for a moment? We're all excited about the potential for our town to grow into a prosperous city. Everything's going swell, though some of the new arrivals are experiencing issues. Are they, though? I suggest building yourself a house first, one with a big mailbox. That way, we'll know how to reach you if we ever have requests for our little town. A mayor's home. Build the mayor's home. So a mayor's home is a unique building you can only ever build one of. And I'm going to put the mayor's home adjacent to the research building. Out yonder. Oh, come on. Don't ruin the road. There we go. And now we are a little hamlet. The research tree gives us the hamlet tier. Clothing stores, a larger warehouse, second floor housing, a butcher, park decorations, a fountain of seasons, and an optician. Optician. Will there be a mayor Rad walking around? Not really, no. So right now, the happiness is lower because I'm not supplying clothing. So I think that's going to be a high priority. All right, Scorpio says, hello, Mayor. When I moved here, I didn't realize I would have to survive without my favorite tailor. I fear I'm getting desperately out of fashion. Would you be a dear and build a clothing boutique for our little town? And make sure they sell red clothes. Dear, I hear it's the latest trend in the city. Okay. Amazing, your house looks great. I'm sure the first request will start coming in soon. It already has. Thanks, Scorpio. We're all thrilled to have such an involved mayor in our town. Don't worry if it takes a while to address any of the requests. We're patient townsfolk. So, research the clothing store. Research the set clothing color. Connect a functional clothing store to the house. And color the clothing. So this is the person. Scorpio was the one that made the request here. So take a look at the research. Clothing store. Done. And with 75 more research points, we'll be able to set the color too. Now, just like your market stalls, your clothing store requires warehouse logistics. So make sure that your clothing store is close to your warehouse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually change the roads a bit here so that I can run a road back here and maybe connect it back like that. And then I'll erase. Let's freehand this. No, don't freehand. Never mind. I'll erase this bit. What I'm trying to do is give myself a little bit of space right here, which I think will be a good place for a clothing store. So the clothing stores, different structures have different ranges and services. So if you mouse over, the clothing store has a low range, a small workforce, and above average production capacity. Now why this matters is later on in the game, oh, now it's like too loud. Later on in the game, you will have people demand more things than you can physically staff. You'll have access to more buildings than you have people that can do work. So it's important to like sort of pick and choose what you want to do. But there we go. There's our clothing store. And now here is set clothing colors, which allows us to set the color of all the clothing to red. Because Scorpio said red is all the craze. Before I do that, whoever's working in here is definitely going to have a pretty shop to work in. All right, click on it. And over on this dice icon, we can set it to red clothing. And then increase the amount of employees. My friends will be jealous of this dress. 1,000 thanks, Mayor. Even those big city folk would be envious of my beautiful garments. You look stunning. My, Mayor, aren't you handing out the compliments today? And because I fulfilled a request, I gained money. You did just bribe a public official. We all saw it. We know what you did. All right. This next... So, of the families that I want to join right now, one wants to be along the cliff as well. So, I'm going to move this house to the cliff as well. I hope there's not a landslide, because you guys are going to have a rough time. And then create a dirt path there. Then maybe move you in like that. And then clean up any road weirdness. Looks fine to me. So here's the supply of the clothing. Not everyone's happy with the red attire? Fine. You're all blue now. Great. You blued yourself. Alright. Research tree. Let's get all the dwelling research done before we start moving into the hamlet research. I think that would be wise. Additionally, we are soon going to find ourselves without enough housing. So that's going to be another requirement. And then I haven't decorated some of the newer houses, and I'll go over them in just a moment. So here's another house that wants flowers. I'll put them in here and flower up this area. So if you're wondering, any additional flowers or whatever demands that the people make are, you know, can be retroactively fixed. So this flower house, for instance, I put them in as 9, they're already 17. They're 17 because I added flowers. Now they should be up to 20, and they are. Perfect. Here's a new request. I don't want to play hide and seek. You don't like it anymore? Of course I do. But there's no pretty flowers. I want to hide in bushes with flowers. What does that have to do with hide and seek? I just wanna. Item. So I need to set a zone for hide and seek. So let's set this as the hide and seek zone, because it's kind of like dead space otherwise. And we're going to put 8 flowery bushes and 4 bushes. Which means we're going to want to unlock bushes. So I've got flowery bushes, and we're going to want 8 of them. So in this quest, you can change the pin wherever you want it. I just think here's a good spot for it. We'll put down 8 flower bushes. I'm just going to have them line up with the railroad tracks. You know, like kids hiding in a bush next to railroad tracks. What could go wrong? And then after that, we want 4 regular bushes. And that's it. That's all it called for. Hide and seek smells great now with all these flower bushes. I want to play. I still don't know what this has to do with hide and seek. Some people simply like flowers. Thanks. Don't know how a kid paid me, but sure. Thank you for tuning in to Town to City, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow villagers.